Your WXXV News 25 forecast first, powered by Mississippi Power.
Cold temperatures continue overnight tonight. 40 degrees. Well, this is in the next hour or so. Those temperatures will drop off. The low temperature is going to be 37 degrees. Meanwhile, those temperatures do warm up by the time you approach noon, mid-50s. Partly cloudy skies, though. That's your forecast first. WXXV News 25 starts right now.
One local cancer survivor is giving back to the community, helping children in need.
I'm Brooke Parker in Gulfport. Marine life rehabilitators are waiting here at Million Air for a special package to land. I'll be more coming up.
Coming up in sports, we have some local high school basketball highlights that you will not want to miss.
Your news live right now. WXXV News 25.
Good evening and welcome to News 25 at 10 o'clock. I'm Buhring.
And I'm Trey Tonnessen.
70 Kemp's Ridley sea turtles have made the long trip to the Mississippi coast.
Here's News 25's Brooke Parker to tell us how and why these turtles are here.
Did you know that turtles can fly too? Well, not literally, but they are currently on a plane and they are going to be landing right here on this runway. Each year, the Institute for Marine Mammal Studies and Mississippi Aquarium receive Kemp's Ridley sea turtles from the New England area. They're flown here by volunteers with the Turtles Fly To organization.
One of our aquarists said it was the best day of the year. It was Turtle Day. So it's like an early Christmas present with these 40 really special animals that we have the privilege of taking care of.
These turtles are sent here to recover from being cold stunned before being released into the much warmer Gulf of Mexico. This program ensures the protection of the Kemp's Ridley species.
Being able to rehabilitate them and ultimately release them is helping contribute to the species population overall, and it's giving them a second chance at survival.
IMMS received 30 turtles and Mississippi Aquarium received 40. Both institutions will work to get the turtles back to good health.
You can imagine as veterinarians and animal care specialists, we only want the best for animals, so it's very exciting to be able to help an endangered species like this.
These turtles will start to be released in waves roughly around March. In Gulfport, Brooke Parker, WXXV News 25.
Fishermen out to land offshore species of fish in Mississippi will soon be required to obtain a new permit in addition to a fishing license.
That's right. The Commission on Marine Resources today passed a regulation calling for an offshore landing permit, similar to those already in place in Louisiana, Alabama, and Florida. The intent is to keep more accurate records of offshore fishing to help regulate the amount of fish caught in Mississippi waters. Officials passed the motion at a time when the data estimates offshore catches are not coinciding with seasonal quotas.
The permit will be good for a calendar year, the same as recreational fishing licenses, and will allow anglers to fish for specific species like snapper, cobia, amberjack, grouper or hind, and gray triggerfish. Trevor Moncrief, Fin Fish Bureau Director of the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, says the permit should not come as a burden to fishermen, but to create a network of offshore anglers.
And what it does is give us a universe of offshore anglers that we can then, send out questionnaires and do surveys for on the effort side that we're piloting out this year. So that's kind of the intent of this regulation itself. We'll have estimates in January and February that are upwards of 400,000 pounds for red snapper. That just don't match what we're seeing. And then we've got spotted sea trout estimates in November and December that are well above 1 million and pushing 2 million pounds, which also it doesn't follow our fishery.
The permit is free and will take effect in 2024. In the first year of the permit, officials expect no tickets to be issued. DMR instead will give the anglers a grace period.
I have to say, for me, it's too cold to go fishing right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Somebody
almost winter.
needs to fix it.
Yeah, and I think I know a guy.
Me too.
No, I can't fix the weather. I mean, anyway, I just give you the weather. I mean, if it was up to me, it'd be 75 and well, not sunny, but humid right now, and nobody here wants that besides me. But anyway, clear skies, 44 degrees. It feels like 40 degrees in Biloxi right now, though. Winds out of northeast are helping to usher in much drier and colder air. Coming out, here's St. Patrick Catholic High School bus stop forecast has 37 out the door tomorrow. It will warm up to around 60 degrees in the afternoon with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Thin upper level non-rain producers though.
All right, thanks, Jeff. We now bring you a developing story. The Colorado State Supreme Court has just disqualified former President Donald Trump from Colorado's 2024 primary election ballot.
The state's high court ruling stems from his actions surrounding the January 6th Capitol insurrection. Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
Good evening. In a bombshell ruling tonight, Colorado's Supreme Court deciding that former President Trump should not be allowed on the state's primary ballot in 2024 on constitutional grounds. The ruling states that Mr. Trump is disqualified from holding the office of president again because of his actions on January 6, 2021, citing the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, which says that no person can serve as an officer of the United States who engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. The decision reverses a lower court's ruling and is the first of its kind after similar challenges in other states have proven unsuccessful. Former President Trump campaigning tonight in Iowa. He has called efforts to keep him off the ballot nonsense and election interference.
They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you.
The Trump campaign calling the Colorado decision politically motivated and completely flawed, and promising to swiftly file an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. The decision is temporarily on hold to allow time for appeals. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The Mississippi Gaming Commission will hear from a Biloxi developer on Thursday making an application for site approval for a new casino. RW Development will present its plan for site approval at a meeting in Jackson.
The company will have 20 minutes to present its application, followed by 30 minutes for opposition. In March, the state Supreme Court cleared the way for the site application when it upheld a Chancery judge's decision that allowed RW to develop a public or private pier south of Veterans Avenue. Well, this morning around 11:30, a car and a bus collided with each other in Ocean Springs.
The crash happened on Highway 90 near the Chateau Bayou apartments. Here's what we know so far. According to the Ocean Springs Police Department, the driver of the car was taken to the hospital with injuries.
One of the students on the bus was also injured and taken to the hospital. The crash is being investigated, and we will provide you with more information as it becomes available.
The Biloxi City Council voted to approve a new ambulance service to serve the city.
Yeah, the city approved Pafford Medical Services to be the new provider earlier this month after a public bidding process. Biloxi Fire Department has 168 firefighters and 10 stations across the city, responding to 180 calls a week.
Having a dedicated ambulance service will allow the department to work closely with EMS staff and create a system that can adapt over time.
Well, this next story is pretty awesome. One local entrepreneur and cancer survivor is giving hope to kids who so desperately need it during the holiday season.
News 25's Austin Lindsay shares a heartfelt story on one man's purpose to give hope.
As a cancer survivor, Zach Russin is one who knows all too well how important support can be in a sensitive period in life, as he is sharing that experience with children at Mobile's Children's Hospital during the Christmas holidays.
We lost count after like 4,000 on the toys, but I can tell you the monetary value is upwards between $25,000 and $30,000 worth of toys in these two trailers that we're taking over there today.
Before departing for Mobile with the toys, he filled 2 trailers full that he said should bring priceless smiles on Christmas Day. Zach partnered with Kevin Riley of Dad's Super Pawn Shop 3 years ago after his 3rd bout of cancer to fulfill his purpose, to inspire hope in those whose shoes he was once in.
How it affected me as a grown man at the time, I thought about how it was affecting them, and in my mind, you can't motivate a child the same way that you can motivate an adult. So I come up with an idea when I was driving back from chemo one day, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna figure out a way to get these kids some toys the way they want to wake up the next day. They want to wake up for one more day, because that's all we're really searching for out of this, me and Mr. Kevin.
Zach and Kevin, along with friends and family, help raise funds throughout the year to deliver to children at the South Alabama Health Children's and Women's Hospital in Mobile.
Every time I unload a toy off one of these trailers, I imagine the smile on that kid's face on Christmas morning when they didn't think that Santa was going to come this year, because a lot of them families, they tell the kids, hey, look, we got to get better. Santa's not coming this year because they're strapped for cash. They're not going to have a good Christmas. I just imagine them smiles first thing Christmas morning, and that's enough for me right there.
As for how the kids choose their prize,
we bring the toys over and we give it to the nurses. They make it into like a Santa's workshop type deal. They put it in a big room, and on Christmas morning, the kids get to come through and pick whatever they want, whatever tickles their fancy. There's no limit on how many they can get.
for Zach, he wants those children to know they are not alone and can get past the cancer.
I've been very blessed, and we really just want to give back and let somebody else out there know that they're not alone in this world, even though sometimes it may feel like they are.
In Wool Market, Austin Lindsay, WXXV, News 25.
A local Boys and Girls Club is fulfilling its mission in helping the youth in the community.
And with new additions coming to the after-school program, young students will be set up for success for years to come. The Boys and Girls Clubs of the Gulf Coast held a ribbon cutting today at the Forest Heights Center, unveiling the newly renovated After-School Advantage Technology Lab. The newest technology includes new iPads, VR headsets, and programming and coding kits.
Thanks to their partnerships with International Gaming Technologies and the Mississippi Lottery, the upgrades were able to be completed to better prepare the youth for success in the workforce.
We're keeping up with 21st century jobs, and with technology evolving as quickly as it is through donations and partnerships like with IGT that help us stay at the forefront of the technology.
The Boys and Girls Club of Hancock County also received technology upgrades to their computer lab as well.
The Gulfport City Council voted unanimously to name Wayne Miller Chief Administrative Officer.
Yes, Leonard Papania will be retiring from the position at the end of this year. Wayne Miller grew up in Harrison County and is a civil engineering graduate from the University of South Alabama. Go Jags. He's worked for Gulfport Public Works for 14 years, beginning as a staff engineer in 2009 and working his way up to Public Works and Engineering Director for the city. Miller told us this is a new field for him to step into, but believes his experience working closely with the interworks of the city will help him achieve some goals in this position. The Mississippi Department of Transportation also named a new District 6 engineer.
Assistant Chief Engineer Billy Owen was named to the position. MDOT District 6 encompasses 14 counties in southeast Mississippi. This comes as District 6 engineer Kelly Castleberry announced his retirement at the end of the year.
As District 6 engineer, Owen will oversee all construction and maintenance projects in the area encompassing the Pine Belt as well as the Mississippi coast. Owen starts his new role January 1st.
Coming up, Jeff will have another look at the weather after the break.
Plus, a few places on the coast will be collecting Christmas trees for recycling. We'll have more details just ahead.
And the Golden Nugget donates to another local nonprofit for the holidays.
Coming up in about 7 minutes, we take you to Moss Point High School, where one local student athlete has recently signed to play college football.
And now for a final check of our daily poll. Are you traveling more than 50 miles from home this holiday season? I will be. Trey?
Me as well, but hey, the number did change just a little bit.
It changed a little bit to yes. That was not me, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not.
Shows just this. But if you want to change the number, you can vote by going to our website, WXXV25.com, and clicking on the WXXV vote link in the news drop-down menu, or use the QR code right there on your screen.
You're watching WXXV News 25 with Lori, Trey, Jeff, and Jevan. WXXV News 25. And now, your weather authority.
Just a couple more days till winter, but it kind of already feels like it, in my opinion. I don't know about all of you at home.
It's crazy how our perceptions of temperature change. When we were both up north, we would have loved this.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, now you're spoiled on the Mississippi coast, but it certainly doesn't feel like it tonight, though, with temperatures that are just, they're downright cold. Pascagoula, Picayune at 34. Bay St. Louis, I'm really suspect of that being our warmest spot, but 46 degrees. 44 Gulfport and Biloxi. Other locations, though, yeah, it is quite cold out there, and temperatures tonight will drop a few more degrees on average. Again, not quite 37 on average in the area, but it will be later on. A few clouds turn partly cloudy later on. Right northeasterly winds will make it feel a couple of degrees cooler than what it is reading on your thermometer. Out the door tomorrow is going to be cold. It will warm up by the afternoon, though. East-northeast winds 8 to 12 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies, upper-level clouds mainly moving in. These are non-rain producers, of course, and it will really only just provide a filter to your sunshine in South Mississippi. HRM Properties atop Dan B's Restaurant and Bar in Bay St. Louis showing you a nice view. Now, one thing to note, winds have calmed down, were calmed down completely earlier on, showing you there that the water was quite reflective of the lights on the Bay Bridge. Not the case anymore. A little bit of a light breeze across South Mississippi. Other than that, though, cloud cover is moving in, and that's on Mississippi Power Doppler, but no actual rain or precip. Those temperatures are going to be downright cold tomorrow morning. Some of these spots, again, not necessarily the most accurate on this map, but temperatures will warm towards the 60-degree mark. Slightly less cold out the door for Thursday morning, and then you get into the afternoon, things are going to be quite comfortable, mid-60s. Yeah, that's going to be around what we should be this time of year in terms of those seasonal averages. Starting off the day Friday, 40s, 10-year 50s. That's a little bit better for those of you who like that warmer weather. Train of storm systems sits off to our west. High pressures in the region. No, that's what's going to shape the forecast for the next few days. That cloud cover tomorrow is going to be around. These are upper level clouds, though, so you can take this depiction, drop it down a couple notches, and that's what you actually will find. More in the way of sunshine on Thursday. Back into the cloud cover regime, though, by the time we get into this weekend. I think Saturday is going to be ending up with mostly cloudy skies. Sunday, don't even think the sun's going to pop out once. Moisture is being shown on water vapor imagery. This tells you how much moisture is suspended in the mid and upper levels. Yeah, not much of that reaching the surface, and that's going to take a bit to modify, but it will. By the time we work Friday through Saturday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, things are going to be quite unsettled. Storm system's going to be developing. That sharp cutoff to the west is a cold front that eventually moves in. There will be a lot of moisture and a lot of unsettled conditions until you get towards the Christmas holiday. That being said, 20% rain chances on Friday, 30 to 40% by this weekend. One thing to note, bit of things can change, but Sunday into Monday looks to be the rainiest day with the potential for 2 to 3 inches of rain in South Mississippi. But for now, cold temperatures overnight tonight, 60 tomorrow afternoon, but by the time we work towards the end of the week, things are going to be improving in South Mississippi. Vorick and Trey.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Yep, appreciate that. Coming up after the break, WXXV Sports Director Jevan McCoskey will have sports.
What's your least favorite? Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check. Well, before we get into sports, I have to ask you both what your least favorite sport is. It's a hard question. I know it's like asking somebody what their favorite movie is.
Right? Taking some punches.
I'm trying to think of my least favorite sport to watch.
Sport I watch.
I'm going to have to say NBA basketball. I'm sorry. I just think they're
All
horrible.
right, you don't even have to answer. We're just going to
just
go
think
ahead and
they're
get into
horrible.
sports. We got a lot to start, so let's go ahead and get into it.
WXXV Sports.
Good afternoon and welcome to sports. I'm Jevan McCoskey. Well, National Signing Day is on Wednesday, but one local student athlete got a head start to his big announcement, giving us a little appetizer for Wednesday's 4-course meal full of signings. Early signing period for football began this week, and Moss Point's Taboris Charles wasted no time putting his pen to paper. The Tigers senior running back signed to continue his academic and athletic career at Southeastern Louisiana University. While repping the Tigers jersey during his senior year, Charles absolutely balled out, eclipsing 1,000 yards in just 4 games. Congratulations to Taboris, and best of luck in your Louisiana Lions career. There's plenty of high school basketball action around the coast on Tuesday, including East Central versus Stone High School. The Lady Hornets travel to Stone County School District to take on the Lady Tomcats. First quarter action, Olivia Tanner looks up and finds Reagan Pearson, who nails the mid-range jumper to get the scoring started. Second quarter now, Nyla Smith. Look at the rejection for Stone as they're looking to come back and even the score. But in the end, it was too much of this. You'll see it here in a second. Too many open baskets. This is an extra one here for Brianna Bonfiglio. She's wide open for the easy layup as East Central picks up their 3rd win of the season, winning 27-23. The East Central and Stone boys varsity also battled it out on Tuesday. Getting things started in this one is Ray Dennis as he fakes out 3 defenders and gets to the rim with a nice finish for the layup. Later in the half, it's Cartavius Myers. Look at that block, knocking it out of bounds into the stanchion for the Hornets. Just before halftime now, it's Jace Jackson who runs the break to perfection. He's going to get the easy layup to go. This one's still going on, but when we get a final score, we'll have that posted over on our website at WXXV25.com. There's some college football news in the state of Mississippi as Alcorn State announced their new head coach on Tuesday. Alcorn State University named Cedric Thomas as its new football head coach. Thomas becomes just the 22nd head coach in program history, and he has plenty of coaching experience under his belt, having stints at the University of Southern Mississippi, the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and even has had multiple stints with Alcorn State in the past.
And now, the play of the day. Brought to you by Cannon Motors of Mississippi.
Today's play of the day comes from a former Ole Miss Rebel on Monday night, DK Metcalf. Look at this catch in between 2 defenders in traffic. That play helped set up a game-winning drive that gave the Seahawks the win over the heavily favored Eagles. Metcalf wasn't the only Rebel lining up at wideout on the game, as A.J. Brown also played last night, but Metcalf had the better game, finishing with 5 catches for 78 yards, while A.J. Brown finished with 5 catches, but only for 56 yards. That's going to do it for sports. Stick around after this quick timeout for more from WXXV News 25.
And now, your weather authority. Brought to you by Southern Charm Furniture, where quality and design matter.
Overall, it was a colder than average day across portions of South Mississippi. Starting off 37 degrees, that's 7 degrees below normal, only warming up to 60 degrees this afternoon. It was quite the cold one. This was at Gulfport Biloxi International Airport. But the warmer times are on the way in just a bit. However, they will bring rainier times as well. As looking into the Christmas holiday and beyond, things are going to be trending wetter than average in the extended forecast. As a matter of fact, there will be the potential for 2 to 3 inches of rainfall across portions of South Mississippi as we get towards the Christmas holiday. That rain will time out later on into this week. Above normal temperatures will build in next week, though, a much warmer than average pattern across a lot of the eastern 2/3 of the United States. On the water locally, east winds of 10 to 20 knots will shift to southeast by Thursday. 10 to 20 knot winds will lead to 2 to 3 foot seas that build to 2 to 4 feet. Moderate to choppy conditions to protect the water. Small craft need exercise caution. Small craft advisories may be required by the end of this week. Your Mississippi Power extended forecast has things changing. Cold tonight, 37 degrees to start, 60 degrees tomorrow afternoon with a few clouds to partly cloudy skies. But as you work through a lot of the week, a bit of a modification to the pattern, more warmth in the terms of the temperatures, especially those morning lows as we get closer to the weekend. Rain chances start as soon as Friday. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day may end up being washouts, but by the time we get towards next week, things do end up changing and drying out.
This is a look from earlier tonight. The First United Methodist Church has a live nativity scene. The nativity will be live through tomorrow as well. The event will start at 6 and end at about 8 p.m. and will include live animals. The Mississippi Department of Transportation is helping with holiday travel by limiting travel delays caused by highway construction.
MDOT is also providing a few holiday travel tips as well. MDOT will suspend all interstate and 4-lane highway construction during peak Christmas and New Year travel times.
All road construction requiring lane closures will stop Christmas Eve and resume on January 1st. MDOT's executive director says despite this, drivers should be aware some lane closures will still be in place. MDOT also offer the following tips if you're traveling.
I'm David Kenny with the Mississippi Department of Transportation. Here are 3 things you need to know before you hit the road this Christmas. Number 1, before you go over the river and through the woods, check the MDOT traffic app for delays. You can get it for free in the Google or Apple Play Store. Number 2, distracted drivers end up on the naughty list. Remember, phone down, eyes up. And number 3, don't drive impaired. If you drink, find a sober Santa. Thanks for watching and safe travels to your holiday destination.
Other tips provided by Kenny include watching out for wildlife. The cooler temperatures mean deer and other wildlife are more active near highways. Use extra caution when driving during dawn or dusk.
Also get plenty of rest before driving. And lastly, the big one, buckle up. Wearing a seatbelt is one of the easiest ways to reduce injuries in a possible wreck. Well, the Golden Nugget has donated more than $40,000 this year to nonprofits. The yearly totals come after their 9th donation during this holiday season. The Golden Nugget donated 25 bikes to support Gulf Coast Ministries through helping kids in need.
Christmas Day hasn't come just yet, but it's never too late to plan ahead. A few places on the coast will be collecting Christmas trees for recycling starting December 26th and running through January 13th. Locations available for collections include Pass Christian Harbor, the east side of the Long Beach Harbor, the Courthouse Road Pier in Gulfport, and Mississippi Power's Plant Watson. Please make sure all lights and ornaments are removed and no artificial trees.
A few locations in Harrison County will also be accepting cardboard on December 30th. From 8 a.m. to noon, 5 locations will be accepting pickups. The D'Iberville Civic Center on Automobile Parkway, south side of Edgewater Mall by Starbucks, Harrison County Work Center on Lorraine Road, the Hurricane Shelter on County Farm Road across from the soccer field, and lastly, the east side of the Harbor parking lot in Long Beach.
And with Christmas less than a week away, Waste Pro has announced an update to its garbage collection schedule. Garbage will not be collected on Christmas Day or New Year's Day due to the holiday schedule. Services will run a day behind schedule for the remainder of those weeks. And as always, for the latest news, weather, and Christmas news, all you have to do is visit our website, WXXV25.com.
If you see news happening where you live or you have a story idea you'd like to share with us, reach out to us by email at news@WXXV25.com. Actress Kate Masucci says she is now cancer-free.
Best known for her role as Lucy on Big Bang Theory, Masucci has only shared her cancer diagnosis days ago. She underwent surgery and now says it worked, and she's been told she will not require further treatment.
Oh, that's great.
Sounds
Great
like a
news.
Christmas miracle.
Yeah, right before Christmas.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. All right, thanks for joining us on News 25. We'll see you back here in the morning. Goodbye, everybody.